Dear delegates and participants, greetings from Tamil Nadu Physical Education and Sports University. This webinar on impact of COVID-19 on sports and its effect on social development is about to start, and we are waiting for the resource person and our Honorable Vice Chancellor to join with us shortly. I request all the participants to be with us and enjoy the webinar.
Shine ma'am, Mangai ma'am joined. I have admitted Bhaskaran, sir.
Yes, Manoj, sir.
I hope I have admitted the resource person and I have made him as co-host. Karnasan sir, please confirm.
Sir, good morning.
Sir, good morning, sir. Sir, good morning.
Karnasan sir, VC ma'am and Prem sir is joining, and I'm going to make them as host.
Okay, Manoj sir. Thank you, Manoj sir.
Sir, Kandasan sir, audio idu pannala nenikralla?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Sir, could you please unmute your audio, sir? Sir, you are not audible to us. Bhaskaran, sir.
Sir,
Kandasan sir, Prem sir, and VC ma'am joined. They have made them as host.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, all of you.
Ma'am, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, all of you. All the best to you.
Sir, Bhaskaran sir.
Morning, madam.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, good
Morning, madam. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. All of us are good, sir. How are you?
Can you hear me and can? Okay. Okay. Can you see me and is it audible? My voice?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You are very
Very
much audible to us.
Okay. Can you see me at least?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Very
sir.
much, sir.
Visual?
Yes.
Okay. Very good morning, madam.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for being with us, sir.
Sir, good morning.
Okay.
Bhaskaran sir.
Yeah?
Morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
Yes, sir. Fine. Thanks for accepting our invitation, sir.
Good.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Kanadasan, நம்ம ஃபார்முலா போய்க்கலாமா?
Yes, ma'am.
We will wait for 2 minutes. Huh?
1 minute to go, ma'am, to start the program. It's
Okay.
10:59 now.
Okay.
Kandasan sir, we are live on YouTube.
Thank you, Manoj, sir. A warm good morning to all the dignitaries and the delegates who have joined with us for this wonderful webinar on impact of COVID-19 on sports and its effect on social development. A great topic to be addressed by an eminent sports person of our state as well as the country, and who has made the state to be proud during 1980s, and his contribution towards hockey and sports is enormous, as we all know. And thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation and to be with us. And also a great leader of our university, Dr. Sheila Stephen, the Vice Chancellor. Madam is also with us in this webinar. So with the blessings of the God Almighty, we would be starting this program shortly with a silent prayer. And also I request all the participants and everyone who has joined in this webinar to play to be silent for a minute. And also I take it as a chance to say that this to pay a homage or a tribute to a great legend, a football player, Maradona, who is no more with us. So may I request all the participants and all to have a silent prayer for a minute. Thank you, everyone. May I request Dr. S. Prem Kumar, the Professor and Head Department of Sports Psychology, Sports Management, and Sociology, to welcome the gathering formally.
Thank you,
Sir,
Dr.
please.
Kannadasan. Respected dignitaries, dear faculty colleagues, students, and my dear participants, good morning to you all. First of all, it is my pleasant privilege in welcoming our respected Vice Chancellor, Dr. Sheila Stephen, Madam, to this webinar. And we thank her for having consented to give inaugural address. Welcome, ma'am. We also welcome our chief guest, Thiru V. Bhaskaran sir, who is an eminent sports person, an Arjuna awardee, former captain and coach in Indian hockey team, Olympian and gold medalist, and also our former syndicate member. Syndicate member. We welcome you, sir, and we are honored to have you as our keynote speaker today. We wholeheartedly welcome all the participants from different institutions and from across the country. We also welcome all the faculty members and students from our university for this webinar. I'm sure that the deliberation take place today would be of definitely helpful to us to enlighten our knowledge. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir, for your pleasant greetings on this wonderful morning. Now it's time to hear our inaugural address from our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Sheila Stephen, ma'am, the dynamic and inspiring leader of our university. Ma'am, with these words, I take this opportunity to welcome on behalf of the Department of Sports Management, Sports Psychology and Sociology for inaugural address. Ma'am, please.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kannadasan and Dr. Prem Kumar, for the nice words of introduction and welcome. It's really a very wonderful occasion, I should say, a nice platform to share, to brainstorm, and to listen to the resource person. I have fixed up a very wonderful resource person, Mr. Bhaskaran. A very, very special welcome from VC's desk, sir, to you. An Olympian and a captain, hockey team captain, and Arjuna awardee, and so much we can speak about him, and a gold medalist, and former captain of our Indian team, and such a wonderful person is with us to share his knowledge on sports. And we as Sports University are privileged to have Mr. Bhaskaran with us, and a very, very special welcome from Vice Chancellor desk to all the participants for at the screen. Actually, we are happy. I should congratulate the Department of Sports Management, Sports Psychology, and Sports Sociology And a special congratulations to the convener and the organizing committee for the efforts you have taken to uplift and broaden the knowledge in sports activities. Actually, as we all know, sports is a very, very significant term, and we should know a lot about the sports. May it be a participatory sports, or may it be an egalitarian sports. Egalitarian sports is nothing but the sports for recreation, and maybe for competitive sports. And it has its own role to be played, and it has a significant impact on the individual, mainly the community. That is why this is so much linked with the sociology. So to know about sports, we should understand the power of sports. The power of sports is so great that is able to make a lot of impact on those who are participating in sports. As I told you, it may be a participatory sports or a competitive sports. Everything has its own value, and that makes you to be a very, very holistic person. I always refer this term as the powerful human capital. We always have, this word capital, it gives the value, the asset. But here we call it as a human capital with all values which are developed through sports, through participation in sports. It may be the skills, and it may be the knowledge or the experience you have by participating in sports. So one of the basic important development we have through sports is the holistic development. The word holistic is something beyond the addition of all the parts. Okay, something beyond, something very unique. So holistic development talks of the person who is able to gain knowledge not only in education, technical, health, mental, and social well-being. So as I told you, holistic development we achieve through sports. And the second best dimension of sports could be we being the national pride. We have a wonderful model, a person who can be always taken as a role model, Mr. Bhaskaran. We can emulate, we can mimic, we can copy, or we can mirror his qualities. So as a resource person, he is with us. He will talk to us more on sports and its benefits, and mainly the post-COVID-19 period. So as you all know, the sports people in society are called the unofficial ambassadors of our country. So we have with us a wonderful unofficial ambassador of our country, a brand ambassador, I should say. So such a privilege to have him to talk to us. So he is a nation's pride. So what is our responsibility? I always imagine the sports as a long thread with a lots of strands. Okay, we have lots of small strings. All these small strands should be very strong and healthy for making our people to be sports people. And since this particular quorum is on sports sociology, I should also like talk to you on the social integration. Sports has a very, very explicit cause on the social interaction, and for that we need to think of the social inclusion. Don't leave anybody. Include the differently abled also in sports. So sports gives space way for us for social inclusion and social togetherness. Social brings the community together. That goes without saying. You might have seen players playing, and when a goal is being made, you see the joy they share, the togetherness which they exhibit when they share the victory. They come together, they fall over one another, they hug one another, they carry one another, they share lots of joy. So that type of social togetherness cannot be attained in any of the other components in our life, only through sports. and there are lots of social cohesion. The tendency to stick together, the tendency to be together is being achieved through sports, participation in sports. So to me, I think social interaction is through sports is so much important. It takes away all the barriers. It may be the barrier of language, it may be the barrier of culture, or it may be barrier of the religion, the region. Beyond that, everybody is able to be together, and this takes away all the barriers which blocks being together. So sports gives us an opportunity to build and to break. Okay, build the community and break the barrier. So with these thoughts, I am so glad to inaugurate this particular webinar, which has been hosted by the Department of Sports Management, Sports Psychology and Sociology. I really congratulate all the members in the organizing committee, mainly the convener, Dr. Mangir Karsi. I wish you all the best. I'm so eager to listen to Mr. Bhaskaran. Thank you once again, sir, for being with us. I think we'll be having lots of brainstorm, sharing of and exploring things in sports. Thank you so much. All the best to you.
Thank you, ma'am. A great message on this wonderful webinar. Thank you, ma'am, about sports and its role in society and how it develops the integrity, cohesion among the players and all. And a great message, really, to hear from our Vice Chancellor, Madam. Thank you, ma'am. And now may I request Dr. Shaheen Ahmed, ma'am, the Professor, Department of Sports Management and Sports Psychology and Sociology, to introduce our resource person through V. Bhaskaran, sir. Ma'am, please.
Thank you, Dr. Kannadasan. So introducing today's speaker is a great privilege. So our Vice Chancellor has highlighted all our speakers' qualities in a nutshell. So we are happy today that we have Mr. Vasudevan Bhaskaran with us. So to start with the awards, I think he needs no formal introduction because many of us in the sports fraternity, so we all of us know him as a great sports person in all his achievement, but still we have to, we would like to, inform the other people also what his achievements are, and it's a very proud privilege for us, sir. So he has to start with his awards. He has won the Arjuna Award in the year 1979. Padma Shri Award in the year 1981, and he was given the Indian Sports Journalist Award for Best Sportsman in the year 1983 and Indian Railways Best Sportsperson in the year 1981. His achievements in hockey at international level as a player, he has played about 287 matches. So to start with the year and the championships, so in 1980, he had done the Olympic Games. He led the Indian team as captain, won gold in Moscow. Then in 1973, the second World Cup in Amsterdam, silver was won. In 1974, Asian Games, silver in Tehran. In 1976, Olympic Games, it was in Montreal. In 1978, Asian Games in Bangkok, he won the silver. In 1978, World Cup, Buenos Aires, Argentina. In 1978, Champions Trophy, bronze, Pakistan. In 1979, pre-Olympic Games, silver, Moscow. So he has played hockey at international level in the following countries. Asian countries to take with: Pakistan, Malaysia, Singapore, Sri Lanka. Europe, Germany, England, Netherlands, Belgium, Spain, Italy. Africa, Kenya, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Egypt. Rest of the world, New Zealand, Australia, Canada, Argentina, Russia, and USA. So to start with his achievements as a hockey coach at international level, in 1984, BMW Four Nations Tournament in Amsterdam. 1995, Azlan Shah Tournament gold in Kuala Lumpur. 1995, Four Nations Tournament gold Chandigarh. 1995 Junior World Cup qualifying round gold Singapore. 1997 Junior World Cup silver Milton Keynes. 1997 Champions Trophy fourth Chennai, fourth place. 1998 Senior World Cup Utrecht. 2000 Olympic Games in Sydney, 2006 eight nation tournament in Spain in the year May. Aslan Shan tournament, he won the bronze, Malaysia, that was in June. Senior World Cup, 11th place. 15th Asian Games, bronze, Malaysia. So 15th Asian Games, 5th place, Doha, Qatar. Total number of matches he has served as coach was 187. Total number of victories, 114. He has conducted coaching classes for all coaches in India at Orissa, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu. Then he was into the development of hockey in other states. Not only he promoted Tamil Nadu, he concentrated on the other states also. He has worked as director, hockey, Orissa tournament, 2007, 2008, and 2009. For 3 consecutive years, he had served as a director, hockey, Orissa government. Worked as director, hockey, Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh in the year 2011-12. From 2012 to 2015, he has worked as a hockey director, South Zone, appointed by Hockey India and Sports Authority of India. He has held the administrative post from the year 1985 to 2010. He was employed with the Ministry of Railways in HRD department as senior personnel manager. He was involved in promotion of 41 games, Olympic, Asian Games, and Commonwealth Games, monitoring high-level performance of all the sportsmen on the railways. So, you know, it is really a pride moment that you were associated with our national game. But apart from that, we are happy to know that you were associated with the other 41 games also. Apart from this, he has special coaching skills. He has developed upfront system in attack, special skills for 3 link players, supporting sweeper with coordination with link players. He has developed players to adopt both Asian and European system. Equal importance given in scoring, defending with the aim to involve less mistakes both in attack and defense. Yeah, so this was all about him. I think each one of us, whoever is attending this webinar, will have enormous benefits after listening to Mr. Bhaskaran. Thank you very much. So the floor is open to you, sir, please.
Oh, can you hear me, madam?
Yes.
Can you see me also?
We can see you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can I go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You can go.
Okay. First of all, very happy morning to all the participants. And also, I'm very happy that I'm, again, I would say once again, invited for your sports webinar. But I would say that I'm a constant visitor of Tamil Nadu Physical Education Sports University, right from the day one till date. Having gone through nearly 5 vice chancellors, I known the current vice chancellor Sheila Madam for many years, and a very fitting, coveted post for last 2 years. I think Madam has started improving all the infrastructure which was not there quite some time back. But I understand I visited about 4 to 5 months back in somewhere in January at the convocation. So I could see a lot of improvement on the structural promotion there, hostels coming up, and the facilities being increased for the students and also for the staff. So according to Madam, sports is a live wire of the body. Well, to me, I would only appreciate the Department of Sports Management and the Sports Psychology and Sociology for having taken the topic of this COVID-19 and the effect on social development on sports. I think for the last 3 to 4 months, I've been attending a lot of webinars on so many issues, but I would appreciate the Tamil Nadu Physical Education Institute for coming out with this wonderful subject, because I don't think I have not attended any meeting or any webinar on this topic. So I think this would definitely benefit most of the students around here and most of the staff were all viewing this program, because we as a country or we as a global involvement in the world, it was unfortunate during March this year that we had to become a paralyzed almost. And we're also lucky that we're trying to deactivate your body, deactivate ourselves, and coming back to the social status. Well, I think we all have to appreciate and give a big salute on this day, because there are so many people in the life, in the backdrop, that they have made India another strong country when compared to other countries in the world. COVID was tackled in such a way that yes, we missed somewhere, but we caught up somewhere. And I think it's all possible. It was all made possible mainly because of the wonderful doctors India has got, wonderful nurses who have served as a support staff, and the paramilitary people, the army people, the police, and the university staffs, the college staffs, NGOs, voluntary organization, who have made somewhere near October a possible confidence to the nation. Let's keep apart what the government and what the political people have done. But I am, for one, I am very confident that the courage and the strength of this situation gone through. Just imagine COVID in India was 94.31 lakhs cases affected till yesterday. And with the help of all the very, very efficient doctors, very, very efficient staff around them, and the government policies, standard operating procedures, everything made India, as on this morning, 88.47 lakhs recovery, which is a great, I would say, recovery from whole world of this and giving confidence back to the entire nation. I think we should be all proud that as an Indian, yes, we had missed somewhere. Yes, we have not been disciplined somewhere, but slowly and steadily, the fatality rate of India was only 1,37,000 as on date. But still, the active COVID effect continues because we need to be more disciplined. Apart from doctors who have been treating you, and also the country's prime minister and the doctors around the World Health Organization, ICMR, are entering into a vaccination system and confirming as early as possible, comparing to US. I think we'll be able to do everything by April and June, so that everyone gets a vaccine on this issue and pedal back to our human activities at the earliest. Because we faced enough, and we faced enough loss, we faced enough courage on this common social economic impact. Be it may be business, be it may be education, be it may be sports, or whatever the activities as a human, whatever the people who are working, whatever the people who have been wealthy, every one A to Z have been affected. But for us, when we go back to Z to A, I think we are coming back to almost nearing to the A. And that's where the courage of the Indians have stood and given example to each one who participated in this lovely, wonderful structure of this country. The COVID has definitely is passing through a very, very struggle phase that as a sports person, I myself personally feel that this university took the subject to enlighten where we are now and where we went wrong or where we have to move forward. When we are trying to move forward, the ladder to move forward with the struggle. It's like, mostly most of the people who suffered was in the World War I and II. So I think the sports also suffered in those two long period. I think World War I and II took away the Olympics, the greatest mega event for sports people and the sports officials in the world. Likewise, the 2020, due to this COVID mishap and COVID effect, the 2020 Olympics has taken from the well-wishers and the enthusiastic sports person, not only from India, from 2020 countries. Now we have to do it on 2021, but I think we moved on in such a way. I think thanks to the International Olympic Committee, Dr. Thomas Bach, a good friend of mine and Olympic silver medalist, have persuaded the Japanese government not to cancel the event, because if you cancel the event, people only talk about the money part of it, how much 1.9 million loss financially, because normally a finance or a commercial part of it can be recovered maybe 1 or 2 years down the line. But you can't get back the 4 years of struggle of the sports personalities who struggle hard and training. And for example, in India, we have sports person, men and women qualified in the team event like hockey and women hockey. We are proud 10 people qualified of archery. We are about proud 8 to 9 athletes who are qualified already for the Olympics. We have badminton team, at least 3 to 4 people are qualified for the Olympics. We have 2 or 3 table tennis players from Tamil Nadu who are qualified for Olympics. So we have wrestlers who are qualified, we have shooters who are qualified. And what I am talking is about 77 or 78 people who are qualified. And if the Olympics would have completed in June this year, maybe India would have placed in a wonderful place, in my opinion, could also have procured at least nearly 8 to 9 medals. So I think that is being taken away. When compared to other countries, 8 to 9 medals in our country is quite big, because we talk about medals, we talk about activities, we talk about competitiveness. But when comparing to this COVID effect, I personally feel that in India, the most affected person could be business circle, could be the other financial banks, other departments where the salaried people or the companies who are getting salaries, or maybe people from the downtrodden place where the housemaid, the servants people, everybody must struggle because it was a grand bad hit to their coming up in their life. But what is not digestible to me, because sports doesn't come every day. Your performance doesn't come every day. That is why the Olympics is a great mega event, because 4 years down the lane, every athlete gives his life, every coach follows the athlete at every moment and try to perform his or her in the participation of the Olympics. Say, for example, in athletics or in the entire sports mega, the Olympics will be about 10,300 athletes of the top countries will take part. All are national champions in their own country. And when coming back to this performance, they all have been affected badly. They all have been affected permanently, I would say, 6 months, because the government, the World Health Organization, ICMR, the own state governments, wherever health department were there, they tried to bring up a lot of SOPs and give life to the sports person, because every personalities in sports at high level have come back in happiness and found that the Olympics is round the clock and it will be held next 2020. It will be called 2020 Olympics, but still we have 7 months. But to recover the 6 months training and the competitiveness and the performance oriented, it will be really tough for all the athletes, all the coaches, all the participants, because it's for everybody is the same. Every country has the same problem. But for India, it will be a great problem because it's not that what the other countries have developed. It's the first time that India will have crossed more than 120 people will take part in the Olympics. That means India is improving and India is recognized all world as a top sports loving nation, because the countries now suits the Tamil Nadu Physical Education Sports University. For the last 4 years, everybody is talking about Fit India movement. Yes, it starts from the University of Tamil Nadu Physical Education, because you are the people, you are the faculty member to promote the Fit India movement through kind of sports and the courage what all the people have got in India is how we acted on this 6 months, how we are recovering slowly. And till yesterday, every government has taken back little bit of lockdown, little bit of sports activities to come into place. Unfortunately, the meaning of lockdown, people are thinking that lockdown is not to come out. Yes, it's not to come out and be safety. And the three principles the government, all the human being in the world has to follow is that you are mask, keeping distance, and sanitization. It is actually unfortunate that we are learning still, because as per the ICMR and the World Health Organization, only 38 or 40% people have followed this strictly. And to move on further, controlling the COVID Act, I think we need to have a self-discipline from each and every one. You may not be telling that the percentage of everyday COVID cases have gone down. So we can be without mask, we can be without sanitization, we can still be there and not following the distance. My dear friends, people talk about second comeback, third comeback, but all that can be thrown away if each and everyone in Indians in the world or as a citizen, I always feel to recover or to come back from a biggest debacle, how do you come back? Not by money wise, not by parental one, not by scouting, or not by any instructions from anybody else. As a sports person, I personally feel and happy. The biggest strength of sports person and the coaches and all the teachers around here is the self-discipline. If you are self-disciplined, I think all the government rules, SOP, can be achieved quickly rather than slowly. Well, for the last 3 months, the improvement have been fantastic, but it's still not okay. And most of the things what we are seeing is struggling for the parents, for the kids, because everything is online. Yes, we need to learn something, but I would prefer to be out of line, out to the ground, out to the stadium, out to the gym, out to the swimming pool, out to the college classrooms, out to the school classrooms, because that's where the social status starts. The impact on this, the subject on this today's webinar is how well you activate on your social status. Yes, we have come through great problems for the last 6-7 months, but I think with the confidence level of self-discipline, catching up with everyone, we need to analyze where we started, where we ended, where we can improve on. And also advocate your family members. I think through the family members, because in India, the cultural activities on social status, every family member has got branches. At least a family member in India, one family, the third generation, will have at least minimum 150 branches. You can call them as cousins, you can call them as uncle, you can call them as chitapas, you can call them as periapas, but they all have branches. With this 150 people in one family, if we can advocate, be disciplined, be self-disciplined, and follow all the SOPs the World Health Organization can advertise, I think this is where we as sports personalities obey the orders, because we know what is a health. As Vice Chancellor was telling, the pillar of the sports is the health part of it. To me, health means it's not everyone in this world. God has given the lovely structure of 2 eyes, 2 hands, 2 legs, and 6 senses to think about. That's what all about all human in India. But how many of them have used that body very well? How many of them have focused the health of your body from the age of 10 years? How many of you have taken care every year where your body has to go, how well it can go up? This is all about the university teaching you psychological effect, physiological effect, exercise therapy, everything put together. The performance of your body goes up. Not necessarily you have to become a Usain Bolt, not necessarily you have to become Maradona, not necessarily you should become India's great athlete like P.T. Usha and Saina Nehwal or Saina Misra, because they took care of the body. They took care of the science available with us. So this is what all about the impact we are facing on this COVID problem. We need to advocate our body. We need to adjust our body. We need to keep your lungs very good. We need to breathe your air problem. We need to go out. We need to see where exactly we can advocate your body to come back to normal, what you were prior to COVID in February 2019. My dear friends, or 2020, we are heading towards December. Almost 9 months, 8 months, we have crossed through the hurdle. The country has developed into 9th lockdown. And all the lockdown I taught you every time something to you. And that way, I have visited a lot of sports people, personal training, but it's still not good enough. We need to activate ourselves. We need to activate our body, because the 6 months, the sports activities and social theaters have taken the confidence level back. People have become more of, I would say, underprivileged, in the sense of making you a privileged student. The matter is not that we have to be very careful about your health, and the health process is so good in India. The immunity level is so high, because we are living in a place where India has got only 38 degrees for at least 8 months. So 8 months is good enough to have the immunity level checked. Immunity level goes up automatically, and we recovered because the immunity level, we followed the WHO SOPs, ICMR SOPs, and all levels we have followed everything. And as a sports person, as a sports teacher, everybody must have recovered quite well. But I still feel, if we really want to have a confidence level going up, we need to analyze one thing. Be patient. Do not get carried away by the result of the channels with producing saying that we have come down, we have dropped down, we can have get together, we can have 400 people join together, we can attend the marriages, we can attend the special parties. No, I think we have to do what we are capable of. Don't compare in this issue England or US. Take the good things or but not what's happening in US right now. It's quite sad. Big country, didn't follow anything. People wanted freedom. People want to go out. Some people had a big chaos telling that we want freedom. We don't wear masks. We don't want to be keeping distance. But you see the result of US, they're suffering. You see in Europe, come back a third lockdown. So I think we are very lucky one because we had a self-discipline. My dear friends, this sports university have touched a wonderful topic of this COVID and the impact. To how to get away with that and how the sports can help you to react yourself, regenerate your body, regenerate all your muscle, regenerate every status of your body. And this is what one webinar teaches you from the different seminar. But this one is something unique for me. It's something which I started looking out for statistics. Hopefully, I've been very fortunate to have some wonderful friends like the faculty what you have now. And I will appreciate the entire department of this social and Madam Dr. Mangekarsi and all the colleagues department where everybody has put their mind, and with the permission of Sheila Madam, the convener Dr. Mangekarsi, Kannadasan, the organizing secretary, all the committee members, Dr. Prem Kumar, Sabin Ahmed and Ramesh Kumar, I think all the entire people who have followed this and also been attending this webinar or many seminars on the entire COVID impact. I think this webinar has opened the eyes where we are getting self-confidence. I can only convey to all the people who are watching or we are viewing it is that we have moved into our own self-confidence because for last 2-3 months we have been more disciplined, but still we can be to be 100%. We can still push yourself, still reach yourself. Don't get bugged up that I'm not going out. Don't feel bad that I'm not meeting my friends. Don't be, because everywhere there is a system called the management. The management comes. What is management? The crowd management. That's where the lockdown is so important to us. The crowd management is so important that when we go out, see that you are going in a place where others are not gone. Try to fix up a time where we are away from the crowd. That way we are, that's where it all comes as a discipline. So I think in sports, let's all pray, let's all give full hand to all our sports athletes and sports person in India and all the coaches that please encourage them wherever you go. That because from January, most of the things will open and most of the things will revive and most of the athletes will feel confident. But still, January, February, March, April will be the biggest test for our athletes who are going to Olympics, because I am only advocating because the immediate performance of India's sports culture will go up in 2021 after the Olympics. Because we have seen people who talk, sir, why sir, cricket is allowed? Please mind it. Cricket is already a distance, not body contact game. We have a bubble, but that bubble is not good enough for your discipline. It's a controlled activity where you play for something else, because that's not the way we promote the game. Because it's definitely a question, raised by everybody, but why some games have been permitted to go on. But I think that way they also gave confidence that one game has to stop, other games have to follow. So I think we are good enough that our cricketers have started playing. Our wrestlers have gone to Italy. Our shooters have gone to Italy for training. Our athletes are starting to go in somewhere end of this December after Christmas. And all our top team athletes who are qualified will be traveling out of this country in January, because our sports university from Tamil Nadu and our faculty, all the department HODs and the assistant professors, the students who are there, I think we need to analyze and restore the activities. How do you restore the activities? Be confident, keep telling each other, because it's how you keep telling, because many a times you forget in the morning that you have to go out with the mask. So I think you keep telling the three, SOPs: distant, sanitizing, and your mask. I think it looks simple because it's unnatural for anybody with a mask, because we only known the mask is being used to the surgical department in the medicine. But yes, we are all now avoiding any surgeries by wearing the mask. We are avoiding any sickness by cleaning your hand and everything by sanitization. We are keeping distance away from each other, because to keep your lungs clear, to keep your breather, everything successfully. And I think we need to analyze, keep moving forward. Please do not hesitate to ask anybody that what should I do next, because what the World Health Organization is trying to reach you all, because they are scientifically tested, they are proven ones. Because do not listen to or do not take it granted that you get WhatsApp from somewhere, you get a message from somewhere, everything is fine. No, please confirm what the science has taught you, because you are in a university where science is taking a priority than the messages. And if you follow the science in this juncture where the COVID has taken away your body or taken away your entire health part of it, don't worry. Everybody has come back. Everybody has come to normal, because you have been very, very disciplined. And with this message and impact on this COVID and social developments on sports, I think we are a lovely country that we have been able to, cope up with the problems. Yes, we had faced some problems. We had learned from the problems. We have rectified the problem, because this is unusual. This is unusual for everybody in the world. So we need to start slowly. And I think I am so proud that, I'm not going to be criticizing anybody, because it is not the time we have to criticize. It's the time to be very healthy thinking, very healthy body, and makes you more fit, because we need, if you're going to go back and say and look back at other countries that come back, because those countries are in front of India. It's one of the biggest country by culture, by religious, by social stature, because we are a more of united country, united nation, where we help each other in this kind of situation. I know most of the professors would have helped, most of the HODs would have helped own family members, or most of the people who are suffering, or from their own staff, or more from your students who have been struggling for want of financial help. You all must help. And this is what India and the COVID has taught you. I think the COVID has taught more for the Indian people to be more courageous, because I personally feel that this is, I wouldn't say, why should COVID come and we learn courage? Or why should COVID come and we learn discipline? No, it's part of the life. It's part of, because it's always like people. I will always give an example how a country like Japan came back wonderfully well after facing the World War. After being Hiroshima being rushed up, how did the country came? How did the country come up? They challenged the whole world. We are getting only this 8 months, 9 months, but they have come every 2 years. Once in 2 years, they have some problem for their people. But see, look how they come up in every research, every walks of life, because they all believe themselves. They have believed their own country can come up. This is what I learned from the debacle of Japan, from the World War to the Hiroshima, because I was there in Hiroshima The way they conducted the beautiful Asian Games, the World Championship, it's been amazing. No country can do that because they are the country with wonderful discipline. Whatever comes, they will not leave the country. They will not let down the own country. So please, my dear students, my dear staff and faculty of members, please see that you are more disciplined, more self-disciplined. Also make other discipline whenever you see something going wrong with your friend like this. They're not missing one of the three. Please tell them that has to be followed. As long as we follow this, I think we recover quickly. And I hope the university have definitely touched a wonderful point. And hopefully every student, every people would have been benefited. And also, I think not that because of my, a message reaching you, but I always feel that these kind of webinar will make you more lively, more knowledgeable, and maybe I might have missed so many issues which other faculty members could have thought of it. But maybe down the line, maybe after January when the classroom starts again, you can also add on what exactly the country is going through. And with this message, I would like to thank once again Madam Sheila Stephen, my very good friend from last 25 years, and also the registrar Gopinath, Dr. Gopinath, and all the other members of this wonderful department, sports management, sports psychology, and social status, the first of its kind I have experienced in the last 4 months. Thank you so much for touching this topic, and hopefully everybody go with more confidence, try to become more self-confident, because I always felt because you have to have a self-confidence in life. That will self-discipline will make you 10 years more of living, or maybe become more healthy. And wishing everyone a wonderful 2020, because everybody is going to quickly go through this December. It's going to be, touching 2021, and the nearest festival will be the Christmas. Wishing everyone a happy Christmas. The nearest one will be the Happy New Year, and also the nearest one of our famous Pongal. Wishing you all an happy Pongal and a wonderful year 2021. Be disciplined, be self-disciplined, be motivated, be happy, and be strong to save yourself, save the other people, save your branches of your family, and also, like that, save the country, the great country of India. Jai Hind and Jai Bharat.
Good morning, everyone. Sir, thank you very much for accepting our invitation without hesitation. I feel proud to have you on this digital platform to share your experiences and precious time with us. On behalf of everybody here, I thank for your insight today. I'm sure everyone now has far more understanding of sports and social development. I particularly liked your projection on economy loss of people who directly and indirectly involved in Olympics games at different category. And you have highlighted that the human resources is the valuable capital for any development. Whatever the development. And sir, please accept our sincere appreciation for the outstanding presentation you made to the sports university students and other viewers. You are a great asset to the sports field, sir. There is a kural. Thondit pokadodu thondriga, agdrin thondalin thondrama inandru. Sports field, India, like 2 lakhs or more than 5-10 lakhs. People even a crores of people. But other than our outstanding person, you're the only person. In the hockey, Dr. Bhaskaran Sardan, சொல்ற அளவுக்கு நீங்க இருக்கிறதுக்கு ரொம்ப தேங்க்ஸ். நீங்க இங்க வந்து எங்களுக்கு வந்து உங்களோட எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸஸை ஷேர் பண்ணதுக்கு thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam.
Over to Kannadasan.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir, for a wonderful speech, and where this topic impact on its impact of COVID-19 on sports. I hope the topic has get fulfilled by your presentation, and how to restore or regenerate the performance of the athletes. And still you made us to feel that the athletes of a particular state and the country is staying motivated very positively, and hoping that the Olympics 2021 would be would bring a lot of laurels to us. We are also staying with such a hope and a great example quoted by you, how to stay motivated towards the set goal. Thank you, sir. And now over to the participants. To if you have anything to ask the resource person, you can very well ask now. It's open to you now. Any of the participants? Thank you. And sir, so I should make use of this opportunity, and we were had been discussing throughout this COVID-19. So a few things to know, and we had hello, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Thank you, sir. Sir, your views on the sports ecosystem, like the broadcasters, sponsors, and the owners of certain teams, and do they need new ways to deal with this threat, sir?
Well, I think for the ecosystem, I think is it a common question or is it during the COVID?
It is during COVID, sir. COVID.
Yeah, I think for example, when people started talking about the IPL being moved on to Sharjah and Dubai, there were a lot of press people asking about the question why only cricket gets the importance. But I was very positive in the sense, like, yes, it affected the sports people who were not playing, but this game was not a body contact, number one. And they followed the bubble system. And the franchise also had a lot of money to spend on, pre-COVID test of 14 days much earlier to the matches. I think there are a lot of things ecosystem went on through the World Health Organization, and it was made possible because if they're not followed the ecosystem throughout the tournament or throughout the IPL, I think many would have collapsed on that line. So I think that was taken care very well, and it was made successful.
So why this has the IPL is the event which used to be conducted nearly for 2 months. So such a big event
Yeah.
has been taken outside the country. Some are the other way to. So as like the other sports,
Yeah.
rightly pointed, we have Indian hockey league, and we have in football, and leagues have been postponed due to this COVID-19. So that is what we would like to know from us, and we would really thank you for that. And also, I'd like to hear from you with regard to the sporting federations and organizations in our particular countries, like
Yeah.
due to this COVID.
Yeah. Hello.
Impact of COVID-19 on our sporting federations and organizations.
Well, I think first thing is that the world body in I would say that the world sports body, including International Olympic Committee, in conjunction with the country's national federation, as I said before, the most most of the people have been very cautious on 2020 Olympics. Successfully, they got back the 2020, moved on to 2020. That's one success. Say, suppose if the 2020 would have been cancelled due to this, I would have pitied the 4 years struggle of the entire world who have been trying to beat Usain Bolt record or were trying to beat, other boxing record or other games involved. I think there are about 10,300 athletes would have suffered this. So it have been successful in few countries. Like for example, England, their national federation is differing from our national federation. They're all a commercial, a privatized one. They're all professional federations. We in India, unfortunately, we are not a professional associations. We're all amateur ones. So I think we need to step up further. Your question was that to how we can match the other country. Now we can start training. Yes, because we need a lot of money for that. And in UK and US, a lot of sports was held even in June, July, or the World Hockey League also was held in August, September. But we could not send the team because we are on our government rules and government organization. Rightly so, because as far as I know, we are all the 50, 60 games India has got or affiliated to the Olympic Council. We all are under Ministry of Sports, whereas cricket is not coming under Ministry of Sports at all. They are the own body, they are the own financial developments. But here, it's going to be because of the Olympics. They have been very cautious because I know some of the athletes have gone into shell because they found they have been very positive on that test. So the recovery rate was very high. The recovery rate was very, very, a few athletes could not even recover till date because they did not follow the SOP. And they tried to do on their own when they go back. When they went back home, they went for cycling. They have been loitering around. So I think few of the top sports person got affected. And so that's one of the reasons that we need to accept the world body and our national sport federation. Yes, your question is very right because we are not all the federation in India is amateurism. So I think they are definitely funded by the government of India. And since we have Ministry of Sports and they are about more than 1,500 crores as a budget, and the budget has also been increased due to the Olympic year. I think personally, I feel at least the tax money what we are extending to the government has been used properly, being used properly, and I don't think none of the sportsmen is wanting because with this also a few of the games like fencing, I would say wrestling, archery, they all are training in Italy. They all got the approval going out of India about 15 days back. I can only appreciate the government that they have done it because otherwise, as you rightly said, I think we would not even taken part in the Olympics.
Thank you, sir. Who is so with the different sports at the top level of administration and all, sir. And also like to know from you, like we have a very good athletes with a poor background who is getting trained from a sports authority of India, or as like in our state we have sports development authority of Tamil Nadu, and like many other states they have their own sports promotion schemes and all. So in your views, so how this COVID-19 have really impacted these people from a very poor background?
Well, I think the Sports Authority of India, the sports development of the concerned states, for example, Orissa, Tamil Nadu, Bangalore, and Madhya Pradesh, and Punjab and Haryana, they have very strong foundation on the own state government facilities at their own center. And even Tamil Nadu is not a dearth of wanting what exactly we should do on the athletes. Like as you rightly said, most of the uh, uh, sports person, for example, in Tamil Nadu, I know Ari Kuraj is a good qualified man to go to Olympics. He's already qualified. We have one of the athletes from Tamil Nadu, and we have Satyan and Sarath Kamal down the lane for table tennis. I think their concern was that they don't want to get into problem of training and then being positive on the COVID, because as per the medical advice from Dr. Lal from Delhi, who is in charge of this entire sports fraternity, how do you recover? The latest study shows that a sports person of international level, because the training he did till March was to qualify for the Olympics, and to qualify for the Olympics in such a big world itself is a great achievement by an athlete. I just take an example, of few athletes in Tamil Nadu. We have a wonderful infrastructure in all Trichy, Madurai, Chennai, Tirunelveli, Nagarkoil, everywhere. But then, the add-on scientific test, the add-on benefit to the athletes, the add-on medical advice has not reached the sports people. The sense, either our athletes have to depend on Sports Authority of India, the next communication, what to do and what not to do. I think that's because our sports person have not been trained to know more about science, have not known about why I am doing that. Suppose if I am asked to do only weight training today, speed strength tomorrow, and then exercise next week, then cool down the next week. Suppose I give a schedule, they can do the schedule, but they are not really, wanting to know why I should not do this and why I should do this. So this is where the support system is missing for our sports people. The support system, like for example, in this COVID, I would have definitely had a support system in their own place. So suppose Ari Karaj is from Trichy. What you need is to have an indoor training, which is not available there. So what does he do? So put him on an isokinetic machine, then try to evaluate every week. Every week is test on his improvement of his muscles. Try and do the treadmill workouts at 40%. I know it can't match the natural training outdoors, but all this combined science technology could have supported the Indian sports people. For example, our PV Sindhu, the silver medalist in the last Olympics, an outstanding athlete, outstanding shuttle player, badminton player from the family of his father was as you know what we know in volleyball. The mother was a volleyball player, Vijay Lakshmi. It's from a family of sport people. She was not happy staying in India because she was missing something in her power, something in energy. So she went to UK, which was not available in India. She has to choose that. Not that she didn't want to go to England and train there. She wanted something extra in her body because she believed the science. So she went to a place where that could be made available for her, and she is still in England and training there, because a target is for the World Championship in June, in next April, May, and again a target is to come at the peak for the 2020 Olympics, that is in June 2021. So this is what your question is so valid. It is not that the poor or the rich. It may be poor by financial constraints, but if you're rich in a training, if you are rich in a knowledge backup, if you are rich in your
Kannadasan?
I think Sarah's got disconnected due to
Oh.
a low bandwidth. So
Okay.
hoping that he will resume soon.
Okay, so let's wait.
Dear participants, due to low bandwidth, I think our resource person has got disconnected. He will resume shortly, and he will be continuing to clarify our queries. So stay with us.
Kannadasan sir.
Sir, yes, sir.
One participant by name Dr. Varsha has asked 2 questions.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That is in the chat box. Please ask that question to sir.
Yes, sir.
Once
Sure,
he...
sure, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Kannadasan?
Yes, ma'am.
No, I just called up Dr. Bhaskaran. He said he will join it within a minute.
Okay,
Just wait.
okay. Let us wait.
Yes, I think it's sent.
Yes, ma'am. Sir, you are visible to us.
Can you hear me? Yeah, sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes.
So I was just, sorry, disconnected. So I was just telling about the science backup for the people who are not being supported by any state department or any SI, who are staying back in remote areas. Like, for example, some people are away from their home, and some people are away from the very good diet, and some people are away from the psychology classes. Because this 6 months, 7 months, what I faced for the top athletes in the world, or maybe the normal athletes, is only the problem of recovery from the COVID. That is so dangerous. Doctor from Delhi, Lard, he has confirmed that the recovery after the COVID, whatever you take, it will take 3 months to start your training. Minimum 3 months. You may have a temporary, like, some of the pace bowlers went on for 4 days, COVID, stay back at home, all those things. But if an athlete, because his body is already tuned up for a world championship, not for Ranji matches, not for national championship. So when the body has, went up to that level, that recovery part of it is affected very badly after when a sports person becomes positive. So I think we need at every place, for example, in Chennai, we need to have, or maybe I thought, maybe Tamil Nadu Physical Education and Sports University also asked to cope up with this help. Maybe few of the faculty members, or maybe the science support knowledge personalities in university could have helped our own sports people on how to come back on the recoveries, because this is what the other countries have done. Each one have been taken by the universities. For example, the Leeds University have taken the hurdlers in London, and the Oxford University have taken the hockey team. And that way, a sports person will have a lot of confidence level for training. And I think I thought this is the only thing the Ministry of Sports have not tied up. I would say there could have been more university or more faculty members would have helped, because this is what I always keep advocating. Because you may be a top sprinter, but if you know when and how to run and when and how to recover, that needs a sports recovery system on science. I think some of the institutes have a wonderful strength of science backup. I think that has to be that's my biggest concern as a sports person or as a former sports person. Our knowledge for sports people, especially for the people to go at the Olympic, at the World Cup level and all, should be very thorough with a nice faculty support of teaching science. What is your recovery system? When we are to go up, when we are not recovering. For example, you just see, imagine Roger Federer. He did not play the French Open, though during the COVID in France, somewhere in May. You know why he didn't take part? He would have taken part. He said his support staff said the recovery, suppose he wants to play somewhere in October, November. If he would have played in June, it would have taken next June for his recovery to become a normal Federer. So that was the science backup which helped him up. And now he is ready to play any tournament from December onwards. So look at the examples there. We have a lot of athletes who have done that and still waiting for 2021 to perform. So this is what our, the system is not very conducive, or maybe it is not being spread over all districts and states. Maybe Madam, Vice Chancellor Madam can write to the state government, or maybe write to the Olympic associations, or make me write to the certain sports federation where you are very strong, where your faculty member can advocate or can spread the entire science back up to athlete like Argiraj. Take them on your. It's how some of the universities are taken. You see, they come voluntarily and they are taken and they are producing. It's also a learning point for all the people who are all studying there. It's also a learning point for all the people who are also, trying to help an athlete. It should be a proud moment for somebody who can. The university is trying to help a student. You will be in the world map. You'll go out of Chennai. We'll go out of Melkota. This is what all about your science backup to sports people.
Those feels a great team spending a great time this webinar with your wonderful presentation, and it's great to hear from you. Now, may I request Dr. Varsha Madam, participant who would like to put up a question. Ma'am, I think you can unmute yourself and ask the question. First.
Good morning, sir. It's a great session today. I would like to know the correct age that you would advise for any children to initiate sports, sir. My first question.
Okay,
And
fantastic. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. And my second question would be regarding the motor aggressiveness I see in some children clinically who are into the sports in a very early phase of life.
Oh, that's a very valid, wonderful question to me, because just a few weeks back, I was presenting papers on some of the national university in Singapore, but it differs from country to country. But whereas I would say the first question answer is very simple. It's for the parents to accept your kid as a man or a boy who can go out and play. நீங்களாம் ஒரு சின்ன வயசுல சொல்லிருப்பீங்க, இந்த வாலு பையன் சொல்லுவாங்க. என்னது? ஒரு குழந்தைய பார்த்தா வாலு பையன்பா, கண்ணாடி உடைக்கிறான், கதவு உடைக்கிறான், காரை உடைக்கிறான். ஸோ அந்த வாலு பையன் தான் ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ்ல அச்சீவ் பண்ண முடியும். First thing. So identify the valu payan in you. Well, he is very easy to identify. And the right age for a Tamil Nadu boy or Indian boy, I think would be 8 years on. 8 years on to take interest in sports. Interest in வீட்ல உட்காந்து, our culture of joint family has taken away. Our culture of being now is in a 3-bedded room or 2-bedded room in a flat where you don't even go out, and you're very safeguarding your kid in your flat, not moving around and all from your house. 8 years on, take and show some of the games you're playing. Take some game which is on. Don't show him on TV. Please take him outdoor. Take him to a place where there is place for him to enjoy. Take him place where he falls down, rolls down. Then in 2 years' time, in 10 years, he'll identify his motor qualities. The motor qualities will not be tested unless a boy or a girl runs, crawl down, தடிக்கி விழுறான், மேலேந்து விழுறான், மேலே உடைக்கிறான், என்ன force இருக்கு. You can test him within 1 month. Leave something in the open area. Leave some kind of playthings like a small ball. Test the boy. 2 years time, you can find what exactly he is interested in. He gets his own power. He gets his own strength. நிறைய பிள்ளைங்களுக்கு கோபமே வரமாட்டுது. I have seen நிறைய பிள்ளைங்களுக்கு கோபம் வரமாட்டுது. The reason is because the motor qualities of energetic strength is missing in that. The reason is that because you're not showing what is happening in the ground. You're not what is happening with a small fight. People are fighting for the, screen. People are fighting for the high-tech phones. I would even advocate, the schools who are all online program for till the age of say 10, 12 years. I would even say that start a morning program at 8 o'clock. Have a big screen made on them. Try and, a lot of apps have come up. Try and do some 20 minutes of exercises. Then start your classes. Then you see how the body, you say in physical, the body should open. Open your body before the morning. We all learn from small example. Everybody knows it. I'll repeat again. Say, for example, you see a crow. The crow does not immediately fly early in the morning. உடனே பறந்து போகாது. ஒரு இடத்துல உட்காந்து நல்லா ரக்கையை அடிச்சிடும். மார்னிங் அந்த சுறுசுறுப்பை கொண்டு வரும். ரீஎனர்ஜைட் பண்ணுவோம், ரீஜெனரேட் பண்ணுவோம் இல்லைங்களா? say for a pet dog morning, என்ன பண்ண போகுது காலையில இருந்த உடனே ரீஜெனுவேட் ஆகும் எடுத்த உடனே. அப்புறம் தான் it start, trying to go out, stretch yourself, So like that, you can touch your younger kid 8 yearsல பண்ணலாமே. It's don't have to wait up to 10 years. 8 to 10 years, you can analyze where he is, what he is doing, என்னென்ன பண்ண போறான், என்ன whether அவனுக்கு நல்ல படிப்பு இருக்கா இல்ல கிளாஸ். அதான் நம்ம என்ன புக்கே கொடுத்து புக்ல தான் இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் இருக்கும் அவனுக்கு, புரியுதுங்களா? You need to take it outdoor. That's what is missing. Take it to outdoor. Like for example, ரொம்ப லேட்டா ஆரம்பிச்சுட்டு என் பையன் ஆடவே மாட்டான் சார் சொல்லு தப்பு இல்லையா? You need to admit him what he's interested in. There are so many other activities that come in. 14 yearsல வந்து ஸ்ட்ரகிள் பண்ணக்கூடாது. இந்த ஆடை வைக்கணும் அந்த ஆடை வைக்கணும் கிடையாது, தப்பு. You need to put him in 8 to 11, analyze what is his strength, what is his weakness. Normal food activities, normal bringing up, that's more important.
So my second question, sir, like இப்போ இந்த scenario-ல I see so many kids, maybe in KGs also, parents are forcing them, நீ இந்த ஸ்போர்ட் கத்துக்கணும், நீ இந்த கோச்சிங் வந்து நீ அட்டெண்ட் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு they put in there, and those children develop some kind of அது ஒரு aggressive behavior, maybe அது hitting இல்ல maybe when they are like ஒரு நார்மலான ஒரு விளையாடும் போது they exhibit that kind of attitude. So what would be your piece of advice to those kind of children, sir, to stop that?
No, actually we need to talk to your school actors. I told before, like, in the COVID reason வைக்க கூடாது. As it is, I have seen in so many down the line, I've so many airports or so many train services I've seen. Once I was traveling about 3 or 4 years with my wife from Bangalore in Brindavan Express. You will see, I was so shocked and in my entire career that girl put her phone and the earphone, everything, till from Bangalore to Chennai. 5 hours, 6 hours in the train. That's called the activities from the parents have not, when to do, when not to do, and what to do. எப்போ அவங்களுக்கு பண்ணணும், எப்போ பண்ணக்கூடாது, அதை நீங்க சொல்லிக்கிட்டே. You need to put the young kids in such a schedule that you need to do this. That's it. And for example, I am also seeing the LKG, the UKGs, trying to, today one message is coming, there is a new app have come up, and the parents have to attend the app. I think it's all unwanted on this stage. Yes, we need to study, but not for the people who are 4 years and 5 years and then down the lane. I think for till 10 years, this kind of 8 months missing class, you can take the classes. And parents can teach them 1 hour at home. Not necessarily why I should sit on a laptop, or why a parent should spend 45,000 on a phone on this economic problems. Tell me one justification. What is the third standard boy is going to achieve in 8 months? Rather, you show him some kind of sports on him, improve on his agility and interest on him. Make him do exercise on him. Director on that, or physical fit him, or a normal madam in the house. 10 minutes you do this, 10 minutes you stretch this side, 10 minutes do your bottom exercises. Lot of things. Yes, education is a must, but I am so against in doing for below 10 years. Trying to put them. I may be wrong, but in my mind, I think wasting that 8 months for 10 years old, I think we're not going to do something. You're not going to make a 10-year-old boy to become a world champion by being on the classrooms, on the small YouTube and small this thing. I think நம்ம அதை வந்து ரொம்பவே அடிக்ட், because the schools have அதை வந்து marketing பண்ணிட்டாங்க. For example, I'm so against on so many apps coming up. Coding. 6 வயசு என்ன கோடிங் குழந்தை கத்துக்கும்? 6 வயசுல குதிக்க கத்துக்கணும். 6 வயசுல இப்போ 4 படியில குதிக்க கத்துக்கணும். அது ஏதாவது ஆப் இருக்குங்களா? சொல்லுங்க.
No, sir, not yet.
பின்ன then why people are not doing that? சொல்லுங்க. Because that is no app on encouraging the kids. ஏன்னா இதை உட்காந்து விட்டீங்கன்னா குழந்தைங்க ஆசை காமிச்சிட்டு everybody is spending money on those kind of phones, 25,000, 30,000, where your salary itself is not 30,000. இந்த economic system வந்து is unhealthy என்ன கேட்டா. Where will you gain the motor qualities? The motor qualities will come when your whole body is physically active. The definition of motor qualities is what? Testing 100 meters, 30 meters, 20 meters, age-wise. So you say, okay, my legs are okay, my நல்லா ஹெல்தியா இருக்கான், நல்லா ஓடுறான், நல்லா இது பண்ணான். ஸோ நீ வெறும் என் பொண்ணு லேப்டாப்ல உட்காந்து என் பையன் லேப்டாப்ல உட்காந்து மார்க் வாங்கிட்டா போதுமா? The motor qualities become the proportionate of your brain and the motor qualities differ. கொஞ்ச நாள் போனாவே then that boy will be very inactive and he'll be addicted to the YouTubes. He'll be addicted to the, he may not even know, will not even, for example, if it continues, he may not even say, today நான் லீவ் எடுத்துறேம்மா, நாளைக்கு நான் இதுல பாத்துக்கிறேம்மா, யூடியூப்ல பாத்துக்கிறேம்மா சொல்லுவாங்க. விட்டுடுவீங்களா? சொல்லுங்க. So I think these are the things which we need to address the schools, to address the, yes, for the people who are 8th standard, 9th standard, yes, the step is there. But I think below that level, I don't find any charm in learning that in the morning. That too, for the education, see, the stress factor is so high in each family. You are in city, okay. Look at the people who are in suburbans. So I think we need to, channelize your priorities.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. So I think it's a great experience. Who is being with us in this platform? This great webinar has made us to learn a lot of things from the one who has experienced many things at the level. And the sir had gave a very good explanation for the clarification that I raised. Sir, with the permission of the head of the department and the convener, shall I move on to the end part of the session? A vote of thanks.
Yes, Kannadasan, proceed.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Dear Padma Shri Thiru V. Bhaskaran sir and the Honorable Vice Chancellor, the department, and their participants, we are in the end part of this session. Your presence had really made this program a live one with a lot of interaction that we had with the Bhaskaran sir. To formally thank everyone on duty, to thank the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Sheila Hanifan ma'am, for her presence in this webinar. Impact of COVID-19 in sports as well, its effects on social development. Ma'am, your presence had really to see that the webinar has went on so well with a great resource person, and thank you for your support and encouragement for us to wonderful webinar. And I express my sincere gratitude to our registrar Gopinath sir for granting us permission to conduct this program and for all his support in conducting this webinar. And I take this privilege to thank our resource person Padma Shri Thiru V. Bhaskaran sir, made us this session a very interesting one by his experience and what is happening among the sports persons during this and for for sharing his experience on the questions that has raised. Thank you, sir, for your presence, and you really made us the day to learn a lot of things. Impact of COVID-19 in sports as well in the social development of the country. And I'd like to thank Dr. V. Mangerkar of this webinar, who does all the arrangement and bringing such a great resource person to address this webinar. For your support, and I would like to thank our head of the department, Dr. S. Prem Kumar sir, who had given a pleasant welcome address with a good greetings from the Department of Sports Management, Sports Psychology and Sociology, and also for rendering the support throughout for all the programs that we organize. Sir, thank you so much for your presence and for your welcome address. And I'd like to thank Dr. Shakira ma'am for an elaborate introduction, the very elaborate profile of Dr. Thiru Bhaskaran. And ma'am, I'd like to express my sincere gratitude for your support for the program that we conduct in our department. Thank you, ma'am. I'd like to thank coordinator of this program, Dr. V. Ramesh Kumar sir. And also I'd like to thank Dr. C. Manoj, Dr. K.B. Srinivas, Kumar, for providing the technical support for this webinar. All the participants who made us this program a grand success with all your presence and for your wonderful feedbacks. And last but not the least, our own students of the department, the various departments that we have in our university for your presence. And I would like to, sorry, I forgot to mention our own members who support in all the programs, professors and associate professors and assistant professors of our university. And of course, we have faculty members and very big personalities at the university. They are still providing the support for us in all the programs. So I think I didn't get anybody in thanking everyone. So once again, I'd like to express to each and everyone who made us this program a successful one. Thank you, everyone. The feedback link has already been put up in the chat box, as well you will receive in your group WhatsApp groups. So please fill it up and take your certificates in a couple of days. Due to a technical problem, that instant certificate not able to provide to your email, kindly bear with us for another 2 days. You will receive your certificate. Thank you all. Have a pleasant day. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. God
Thank
bless.
you, sir. Thanks a lot for joining with us, sir.
No,
Thank
welcome,
you.
welcome.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prem. Thank you,
Thank
Shagin,
you, ma'am.
Dr.
And
Kannadasan.
thanks.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks a
Thank you,
lot.
sir. The entire
Congrats,
department.
ma'am.
Ramesh Kumar.
Thank you, ma'am.
I